What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today, BTC USD. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. It is the 25th day of March, and here we are sitting at about $71.4 thousand, $0.3 thousand. 11 and a half hours left in the day. It is the 25th day of March. We're moving right along through this month. We're almost at the end of it here. The final days are upon us. If we're looking at the chart, I feel like the price did exactly what we expected it to do yesterday. You know, my last Bitcoin video, we were up here. A lot of people were bullish. A lot of people were bullish at the top. People are getting crazy, man. People are really getting crazy with their emotions because it was like clockwork. Very bullish here, very bearish here. We didn't do anything, and now they're very bullish again, and we still didn't do anything. But the expectation from this point, during yesterday's video, was that we'd come down and find support around these areas here. Now, I'm a bit surprised because it looks pretty good. I would have assumed that more people would have identified this inverse head and shoulders look here. But maybe because it's on the 4-hour time frame, it's not that significant. People aren't paying attention. I don't know. The volume profile is wrong. So even if it does look like an inverse head and shoulders pattern, I don't expect it to behave like one. I would, the breakout move would probably not happen. Like, we break out, but we fall short of the measure move. The breakout measure move would take us all the way up to these highs and maybe just above there, which makes me think that we would stop, we'd fall short. Again, because this inverse head and shoulders, while it looks somewhat decent, it's got the right shape. The volume profile's off. Now, that doesn't mean that we're incapable of going this high or higher here. Anything could happen. But my thoughts on the matter are that we'll stop at the golden ratio, or maybe at best $74,000 to $75,000. So ultimately, I'm thinking that we get up to 72.5 to 73.2K, somewhere in this golden ratio zone, or maybe up here between 74 and 75K. But there is something else that I'm noticing here that I want to go over as well. So let's get into that. 1 hour time frame. Looking at this here, we're on the Binance chart, BTC USD. This has the most volume for any exchange on the Bitcoin trading pairs in the world. So BTC USD on Binance, I think the volume's very reliable in that sense. And as we're moving up here, as we're breaking out of this zone, we're not getting any volume. Volume's really actually dying off, which typically when you break out, you get volume to back that up. So that's not really a good sign. It makes me think that here, this isn't just a rejection, but it could be a fake out. And with that, we might see a little bit of a pullback. A little bit. You know, maybe we come down, we find support here. We could find support a little bit higher, a little bit lower, even somewhere in this zone here, maybe between about 70 and $70.5 thousand, somewhere in there, which is not even, I mean, that's like $1,000 move, maybe even like an $800 move, something like that, lower. So nothing too dramatic. We look at the 1 hour indicators. The RSI did get overbought, but it basically rejected the overbought zone. It's kind of a funky looking RSI, but overall bullish for sure. The stochastics are coming out of the overbought zone, and the MACD. The MACD did nice. It did well, bouncing off of this zero level here, this level here. The oscillator's coming down and bouncing right there. That's nice to see. You're even building bullish momentum, but you didn't really do much. For how nice of a setup that is, I'm a bit surprised we didn't see something more robust. And now our bullish momentum is dying off. We have 20 minutes left. Anything could happen. We're only down 0.5% on this hour. I mean, we could definitely come back up by the end of it, but I don't know. I'm assuming that we do probably pull back from here. We'll see. We are still technically, I mean, even closing here, we're still technically in this like breakout area. If we were to reverse here and volume starts to come in, we don't have to go down here. But then again, then we're at that 72.8, 73.2K target area. And that target area, again, comes from this high to low. Oh, 72.5. I'm sorry, 72.6 to 73.2. The golden ratio zone. We look at the 4-hour time frame. The RSI here looks pretty bullish. Neutral but bullish. You had some bullish divergence to mark your low, right there. Moving back up, we're at the upper sides of this range. We could get tied up here. I mean, we did before. I don't know. 3 hours, 19 minutes left. Maybe we see this move down in the next 3 hours or even like in the next 2 hours, and then we come back up and we're closing here. I don't know. We saw some wicks to the upside. Perhaps we see some wicks to the downside here. Something tells me that we would go a little bit higher, if not more. So I don't think we stop here. But if we don't hold 70,000 for support, it's completely possible that we are about to go down and see a lower low here. I mean, inevitably the call, what the call's been, was from here that we would move up and that we'd see some kind of retracement from this overall move. When we got up here, we could tell that there's a little bit of volatility coming, so we called for this move down here to where that prior support is, and then called for support to come in and then us make this move. Now that we're making this move, we're having a hard time. It's completely possible that this never happens and that we do go lower than this low. Overall, the thought was up here and then down here, somewhere in this area. So what I'm getting at here is I still do think that this is going to happen. I still do. But if we get below 70K, then ultimately we will go below this low. That's my thoughts. The stochastics look bullish. The MACD even looks bullish here. But again, you're like, you found resistance at the zero and now you're pushing through it. But what are you doing? Like, this is a bullish environment. You're not doing anything really worth noting on the price. Clarity Act is supposed to get passed soon. I don't know. Maybe that's what happens. Maybe we get confirmation of the Clarity Act getting passed. TA doesn't matter. We get a little quick pump because of it. But then people remember, oh, wait, that's a sell the news event. And then we come down. I don't know. I mean, the 4-hour, all these indicators look bullish. They technically do. But something weird's going on right now. We should be breaking out. We should be pushing higher. We should have some volume coming in, but we don't. Daily time frame here, looking at the price, or looking at the indicators, the RSI does have this lower low with a higher low in the price. It's hidden bullish divergence. Looking at this, I feel like it'd be easy to deduce that we would go up a little bit more, 72.6, 74K, you know, that's the same range that we're targeting. The MACD on the daily time frame crossed red. It was a false cross. It looks like a false cross at the moment. And now it's building green. If we can close here or higher, we will confirm that false cross. And that is a powerful signal. That really is a powerful, especially with the MACD, with the oscillators here, right at the zero, bouncing like this, building bullish momentum. That is a powerful signal. We've had it before where we'll get false cross down, false cross up, another cross down, that's false, whatever. We can have multiple false crosses. And in fact, the MACD does stuff like that. It's less reliable when you're in a range that you're just going choppy and you're sideways. So what I'm saying there is this is a powerful signal, but it's in a choppy sideways range. It might not have the same results that you would normally expect it to have. I'm still a fan of finding resistance probably somewhere around here, right around here. The stochastics look good, but we could find resistance at the 50 if we move up a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That could be an area that we find resistance if we come down and get oversold. I mean, there's definitely potential for me to be wrong here. There's definitely the potential to go up. The time frame that makes me think this the most is the daily time frame. But where's the volume? Why aren't we? We're doing the right things. Why aren't we getting any volume? I don't really have anything else to say. If it's confusing, if I seem low energy, it's because I am low energy. If it's confusing, I don't know how it's confusing. All I'm trying to say is we're going to move up a little bit, and then we're going to see a lower low here. If not, likely what we'd see instead is we just see a lower low. This is a fake out. We don't actually get that higher push, and now we're going down to 66, 64K, maybe even a little bit lower. But probably below this low, maybe even below this low. Down to the golden ratio zone, 65.6, 64.5. And we could go lower. If I'm really wrong, we'll just see some kind of exuberant move up here that takes us above this high, but that's not my expectation. This seems a bit early. I'm thinking we see these levels somewhere in the middle, if not the end of April. Even May. The real thought here is we're just going to be moving sideways, guys. Sideways until April's over. Sideways until May. And then maybe we start to drop or continue to consolidate until June. And then we start to drop. I do expect that this sideways phase, this very boring range, will continue for at least another month and a week, if not two months and a week, something like that. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Take care. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.